Yeah, I'm in my seat. Sorry, I just got carried away.
That took me back. That took me back too. Right here on the line. Okay, Nikki, I'll let you introduce
Yeah.
our grand guest for today.
Questions.
Oh man.
But let's talk a little bit about Donna first of all. How did you get started in the business?
Um, when I started this business, which was maybe 2.5 years ago, for years I was always curious about vibrators, and honestly, for years I never have self gratification when it comes sexually. Um, a lot of times I've been watching these porns and watching how crazy these ladies were, and they were so into it, right? So I'm learning all the tricks and trades from these porn and going and practicing on my husband. And I thought, come on, there has to be something better than this. You know what I mean? It can't be just him enjoying himself and me not doing anything, right? So I discovered the good old vibrator, and I just started getting off on the vibrator because it was giving me gratification, right? So I thought, you know what was that, sorry?
No, I'm going to ask you a question, but continue.
Oh, yeah. So I thought, after kind of coming into my own and talking to tons of other women, I realized I was not the only one that was going through this. So I decided, you know what? Just as a plaything, let me just get some toys, get some ladies over and see what it was all about. So when I started Savage Desires, it was more so about selling the toys and making women feel good. But after talking to a lot of women, I realized it's not only about the toys, it's also emotional connection and disconnect.
Right.
And so it's moved away from the toys, not directly moved away from it. The toys is a big part of Savage Desires. But now that I've kind of put my foot elsewhere and about empowering women as well, about their body and loving themselves, etc.
Okay.
Did you get that all in, Keith?
Hey,
Right?
look, I got my head in my hand right now, right?
You're writing down some notes? Okay.
Yeah.
So what it has become, like you said, it's become a resource for, I'm sure, women and men to come and to bring forth their questions, or maybe to,
What?
come out of a shell where I think society has a lot to do with it. Maybe to make them feel a little bit ashamed about their bodies, or to keep sex like a secret. But, we wouldn't be here right now on the phone had not sex been a part of our lives.
Right.
So that's just the truth. Most of us are having sex, and we just need to be real about that. That's the way I think.
You know what? And you're correct. It's still a big taboo, and I don't understand why. And the thing about it is, the thing about Savage Desires now is, just because I will come, I'm a mobile person, I will come to your home and teach you. Or you come to my home, I will talk about it. Because still people don't want to go out there and even buy their toys. And as you said, it's still that taboo thing about enjoying yourself.
Now,
I can't even mention masturbation without people looking at me and holding their head. Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that word.
wow.
You
Really?
know,
And you don't go blind for masturbating, because that's what I heard when I was little.
all of your fingers will fall off, right?
Yeah.
Or, you won't go to heaven. That's a big one, especially in the Latino community.
Hey,
you know what I mean?
now, Don,
You don't touch that.
okay, ladies. Sorry, let me
Okay.
let me ask a let me ask a question. Right? Okay, now Donna, how have you had any how do the men receive? Because I know some men out there, you know what I'm saying, they get worried about these things. I know it's a lot easier, I'm assuming, for a woman to be able to take on the sex toy because they're getting something out of it. They're catching the pleasure from it. Have you got any response from how the men feel? Like, does it scare some men to think that their woman might want to use a sex toy or need to use a sex toy?
Yes, that's a great question. It's an amazing question, actually. And yes, you know what? With the men, it's some of them is like, Donna, why are you doing this? Are you trying to take me away from my woman so she can enjoy the vibrator? But the thing about it is, and you have the other 50% who love it, because men are visual. We're all visual when it comes to certain things. A man likes seeing a woman taking a vibrator and she's masturbating and using it to pleasure herself. And dude or her partner standing there watching her pleasuring herself, and he's going to get aroused. Again, this is the thing about coupling and enjoying themselves, and I'm in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We can't. We're not trying to replace partner with a toy, because there's nothing better than human contact and the human feeling. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, though, a lot of women don't come off by intercourse alone, or or just internal sex.
Right.
It's unfortunate. It's clitoral pleasure, right? You know what? Exactly. But also, it is clitoral, but it also could be internal too, depending on where. And this is where I always encourage women to learn about their body. And we're not talking about masturbation and just playing with your clit or pushing your finger up there. We're talking about making love to yourself. Okay, and finding where the G-spot is. And finding where your G-spot is. Because if you don't know, your partner probably won't know. And I'm always telling women as well, is when they're having sex with their partners, tell them if they're moving, or, they're enjoying where the partner is and they're moving, tell them to stop. Honey, hold on. Just continue doing what you're doing. But don't be pissed off if dude get up and start to do another position, because he doesn't know what you're feeling.
And then leave him.
Communication comes in.
Because a lot of men out there, you be done, women out there, y'all hear that now, because you be done left your man hanging. You didn't even give him a chance to get it right, and that ain't fair.
It's true. And then they're cussing the guys.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing. But come on, reality is that they are not communicating with their partners.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's fair. And you need to You have to for great sex. You got to communicate what you need. And
definitely. You know what I mean? And stop talking about turning the light off or trying to hide the backside. And I'm trying to tell them, listen, dude, don't care about that. Be in the moment with your partner and stop thinking about the way you look. I mean, and the reason why I can say that, because I was like that too. I remember once my husband was coming up, get off the light. Get off the, don't look at me. Wait. Come on. You know what I mean? So
he doesn't care. He just wants to.
That's all he wanted. Didn't care less what I looked like, but it's all in my head, right? It has nothing to do with him. It's all about me.
Yeah.
And I would say, would you say the majority of men just really that's not an issue for them? They just want to have that.
You know what? Majority of the men, if they really care about you, if they love you, yes. But a lot of men probably will take women as possession. You know what I mean? Maybe don't even care about her wholeheartedly, but because she looks good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the minute she kind of puts some weight on her, he's going to dump her. Because, guess what? He didn't really like her in the beginning. He was just using her as a pawn.
Well, yeah.
We look good together.
Yeah, because that's that's like men, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Like, when even with lingerie topics, I like, men like lingerie, but at the end of the day, they really just want it off.
Exactly. It's true, though, right?
Yeah. I mean.
It's true.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yes.
So,
now, I had a question about
Uh-oh.
I know. How am I going to put this down? Well, it's really important, I think, to sanitize your toys too, right?
Oh, definitely.
The question is just more like
definitely. You know what? When I sell my product, my vibrators, I always recommend that you buy a sanitizer. You have to. Soap and water doesn't work. It's just like, when you wash your hand, you have to sanitize your hand. You know what I mean? You wash it because, honestly, as women, we do have little issues once in a while. And we're not talking sexually. Our body just have some issues. We could be allergic to the soap or your underwear. Any kind of infection can happen. And if you don't sanitize your toy properly and you get rid of it by medication, you're going to get it back if your toys are not sanitized. And also, when you have your toys, we need to put them up properly or separate them from each other because they will infuse. So there's so many different ways about with the toys that you have to know as well. It's not about pleasure, it's as you said, the way to clean it or how to use it. And we all know there's so many different toys to every part of your body.
Okay, absolutely. When people come and visit you and you have these amazing parties, and you introduce the toys, and then you also you act as a reference and kind of talk about what's going on, what's trending, in sex and some of the topical things related to that. What are some of the questions that couples bring up to you? What are some of the burning issues they have?
One of them is that I had a couple once, and he was complaining that his wife doesn't give good head. And that was one of the questions, and I turned to her and said to her, we have workshops that will teach you as a woman how to give good head.
What?
So in other words, she was arguing with him that she give good head, but this is her partner. He said he's not enjoying it. I think she should listen. You know what I mean? It's just like, that this is where the whole communication comes in. And she was adamant that she was giving him good head, and he said, "Honey, I'm not enjoying it." You know what I mean?
Did he say what she was doing? That
She was using a little bit too much teeth.
I knew you was gonna say that.
There was not enough moisture. Like she wasn't lubricating his penis as much. You know what I mean? And she's doing it because she wanted to. So I asked her, "Have she loved giving him head?" And she said yes. And I said, "Are you sure?" And she just says yes, and without any comment beyond it or anything or any explanation. And I said, "It doesn't sound like you like giving good head." Well, she said, I kind of do it to him because he wanted it.
Wow.
Right. So they just came out that it was just kind of like a routine for her.
Exactly. So in reality, she didn't like it, but she was trying her best to please her husband. But at the same time, she's not pleasing him because she's not doing it properly, and she's not open to him critiquing her on her performance.
Yeah.
All right.
Nope.
Now, on the flip side, do women complain about men not being able to, go downtown the right way that they want?
Listen, I remember the first time when I did it, and my ex-husband was doing it because we were first trying it together, and he was using his teeth, right?
Dang.
And because we're doing the right job right now. And instead of me telling him, "Babe, that hurt," I'm out when I'm moving, so he thinks I'm enjoying it. Again, I was in pain, but I was so ashamed and telling him, "Don't do that. You're hurting me." And a lot of women do that as well. Instead of saying something, don't use this. Again, communication.
Right.
You know what I mean? But eventually, after months of agony, I thought, you know what? Let's go watch some porn together. I said, "You see how that guy's doing it?" You know what I mean? And that's the only way I could communicate with him because
he did it right eventually.
He did it eventually after watching some porn and up there looking what the guy was kind of doing. Again, I never communicated. You know what I mean? And that's why I now stress that in order for us to enjoy a healthy sex life, communication is key.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the only way we're gonna enjoy a sex life, and start thinking about, because there's so much women too is so into great, amazing, mind-blowing sex that they start getting too tense, and they're not in the moment, and they're not enjoying what they're doing because they're waiting. "Oh yeah, it's coming. Oh yeah, it's coming." But they're not into the moment. You know what I mean? And then they're disappointed at the end because you're just not enjoying it. Just waiting for the big bang, and it's not gonna come.
Not going to come. Well, women and men are, obviously, we communicate differently, we're built differently. So if I could, take a hazard to guess that sex starts in the brain for women, as it does for me. That's where I get, my turn on when a man can properly seduce me, using words or, music, the whole setup is what kind of gets me turned on. But for men, as Keith, as you alluded to, it's about the visual, right? It's the hot body, it's the lingerie, and all that kind of stuff. So, how do we keep the spice going, knowing how both genders think? What do we bring into the bedroom to make it spicy and keep it spicy, with long-term relationships?
For long-term, I think role-playing is key in a lot of romance and relationship. I have tons of friends who's in relationships over 20 years or 10 years, and they do a lot of role-playing, and they're open to new experience. I mean, because at the end of the day, one of them is definitely going to get bored and turn away. You know what I mean? Try something new. I mean, try it once. If you don't like it, move on to the next thing.
You mean like, coming to bed, like one day you're a blonde, the next night you're a redhead?
No, we're not talking to bed. Let's take it out of the bedroom for a step, babe.
Take it out of the bedroom.
Take it out of the bedroom sometimes. I mean, the bedroom, it does get boring. The same thing all over the place. Go to a party, pretend that you don't know your girl, meet up, act like she's a stranger, have sex in the stairwell, in your car, in the kitchen. Get out of the bedroom.
Okay, now
you know what I mean?
That sounds good. I got a question now, and I'm trying to protect the fellas out here that's listening. So, what happens when you do that? Let's say you take that role on and you pretend like you met your girl at the club for the first night. Now, what happens with the repercussions after that when your girl starts thinking that you do that?
No, but remember now, this is something that both of you are going to be discussing.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
There's no repercussion at all.
Okay.
This is husband and wife or a long-term relationship planning their date night once a month or ever so often. So it's planned.
Right. So it's letting
it's just like role playing. You remember, it's all role playing.
So
you know what I mean?
Right. So basically, it's letting all the women out there know that, listen, you know, try it with your man, but don't get mad at him afterwards and then start second guessing him and be like, well, yeah.
This is the thing, though. When you're comfortable with him in your relationship and you know this is your thing, you know, it's just like some women are jealous for what, or some men are jealous for what. If you're sure that this person belongs to you and you guys are compatible and this is him, there shouldn't be any jealousy because then there's trust, right?
Absolutely.
So now you're supposed to be comfortable with each partner to do whatever you want and then do whatever you like.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where it is. It's just like, you know, you're at work, texting your husband or sending some sex texting or notes leading up to when you get home. You know what I mean? Don't make it be about, you know, dinner is at 5 and come home, bang, 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 look up the kids and go to bed. You know what I mean? As you said, visual. So now you're at work, your wife is at work, she sends you a nice text. Or send a text of her nipples, or go in the bathroom, take a picture of her vagina and send it to you, or you know what I mean, or I can't wait to see you tonight, hon, or you know, I can't wait to have your dick in my mouth, or you know, so something to just get the mind going and the momentum going. And by the time you get home, hurry up and send the kids to bed if you have young kids and do your business. Don't go for a ride and do your business.
That makes sense. There's always in the car.
It's always in the car. With the hope of getting caught.
Right. Yeah. So I had to put that out there to kind of safeguard the guys too, you know. And the same thing goes for the fellas too. Don't get mad at your girl later on, like, well, how you do that and why you doing that and how you know to do that. You know what I mean?
So, Keith,
yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So if you have a relationship with a woman who you know is a freak. And she's very attractive, and she goes out, and she's the type that, you know, she interacts with a lot of men. Do you think guys are insecure knowing what she's really like, you know, behind closed doors, or do you think like, well, yeah, that's my woman? That, you know, how do you think they receive that?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, you know, in my eyes, I wouldn't look. I would be glad for people to kind of know. You know what I'm saying? That you know that my girl gets it in, and you know it's just about it boils down to, like you spoke about earlier with the trust issue. As long as you know that as long as I know that my woman isn't going out there and sharing that with people, you understand what I'm saying? Then that's all right. But hey, I mean, you know, it's something that every guy. Look, a lot of guys may try to front about it, but all guys, in a sense, want other guys to know that he's getting real lucky in the bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I totally agree with Keith.
They just don't want.
They want them to know. Okay.
Yeah, they want them to know, but they just don't want people to be able to say, "Hey, your girl did it with me," or "She'll do it with me." Yeah. So it's about being being freaky and classy at the same time. So no, I wouldn't mind if my woman, you know, if people knew that, just hey, don't be taking my stuff nowhere else, and we good.
Yeah, we're not sharing these goods with anybody.
Exactly.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Right. So yeah, that, you know, now what about same question goes to you ladies? How do you feel about it? Do you want the ladies out there to know that, you know, what your man is like? I mean,
I have no shame in my game. If my man is good, I am very happy to tell her about that. My man is good. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're right. He's mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yes, this guy right here is all mine. You can look all you want, ladies, but he's mine. And don't touch. Don't touch. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's all mine.
Yeah. Now,
I'm proud of that too. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Now, you know, talking about the classes, for instance, I wanted to kind of go back to that. What is that like? Like, do you find it now? Are men able to go to these classes? Are there lessons for men? You know, any lessons for men with classes too, or is it just women? Or
I'm sorry. Repeat that question.
Like when you're speaking about class or workshops that people can go to and find out how to, you know, improve their sex lives.
You know what? It's funny that you said that. A friend of mine just asked me the same question. If I could do a class teaching men how to give good head, and I'm thinking, or you know, give a woman good oral, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I've never thought of doing something like that. But you should. I really, right?
Wow.
So now Keith is asking me this question. It's like, wow, Paul, this is something that I should really consider.
Yeah. I mean, hey, because look, if you got guys out there using their teeth for class, definitely needs to be given.
That's an obsession for all those.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I have a
absolutely.
friend that she's still traumatized after her couple years of teething.
So you take your teeth out. No, this is not what
Take
you're
your
going to be.
teeth out, I know, right?
Man.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm really happy we're having this discussion because, and I think we mentioned it earlier, sometimes our culture plays an important part about our sexuality. Now, I am of West Indian culture, and, sometimes there's a little bit of a double standard because I come from a culture where, the reggae, it can be very sexual. Some of the lyrics in the dance hall. Mm-hmm. And then there's the double side of, well, you'd be a good girl and go to church and you don't talk about sex. And it's like, but it's in my face if you turn on the radio. So where do we meet halfway? So that's kind of interesting. And then there are other cultures out there that they embrace sex. Because I grew up in Montreal, and because of the French, Italian, the mixture of European cultures, they're very, friendly, and the sexuality is very open. So it's like, whoa, so there's a difference.
But Nikki, you realize it though, it's the girls that get the pressure. The guys are fine.
The guys are fine, you're right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And who are singing these reggae songs is the guys.
Hey,
the girls are the ones that, get the finger pointing, or, you get pregnant as a finger pointing, and, you know what I mean? Or, or parents have taught us about certain things or allow us to discover certain things, you know what I mean? Probably we wouldn't be so curious. You know what I mean? I never got the sex talk. A lot of women who grew up in the West Indies didn't get the sex talk either. I remember a girlfriend when I was telling her, she had just had her period, and she talked to her mom. She said, "Mom, I'm bleeding to death," and the mom said, "Here, we'll take this." But the next thing turned out what she was going through. I mean, this was in the 70s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's totally different now because now they're teaching sex education in class.
Right.
And to be honest, Nikki, we're talking about the women that was born in the 60s, 70s, and probably early 80s are the ones with the issues. The kids nowadays are kind of totally different. They're more open.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I mean? So we're talking about, our age group now, that's the one with the trouble and, the insecurities and the hang-ups about sex.
Right. And the relationship issues.
And the relationship
consequences.
Yes. Yeah. So we're the ones that need to stop conforming to old ways of that, it's wrong, and learn to love themselves and try to discover their vagina, and start discovering who they are and what is it that they love, versus still under the umbrella that, women are supposed to be just a sexual partner for their husband or their partner, and forget about you. You're nobody. And they still have that hang-up, unfortunately. And this is where we come in as women and myself, that I'm trying to teach women that it's okay to enjoy sex. You know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, too, I just signed up with an online column called By Black to write sex and relationship. So again, that's another.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. So again, that's another avenue for me to, talk about certain things.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal. That's great.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thanks.
Now, how early are the new generation? How early are they having sex?
Oh.
You know what? I really don't know. I guess it all depends. I'm gonna say maybe 17 or 18, but the difference between, you know what? The difference is, and I'm talking for the black kids that I've dealt with my friends, my own kids and friends, because they're curious, but at the same time, as I said, our generation now can I start talking to our kids about sex. I started talking to my kids about sex since they were 12.
Right.
You know what I mean? Actually, my ex-husband started with them first. But he was scaring them about boys. So I thought, you know what, let me kind of take it over. So they had dads scaring them about boys, and my brothers scaring them about boys. I said, you know what, let me kind of, you know what I mean, talk about it. And the good thing about with my children is when they had their first kiss, they came and told me because we had that open communication. You know what I mean? And I wish a lot of parents would do that to their children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had, as you know, my toys. My daughter, she's 17. She came home one day, and I just got my products home, and a bunch of her friends came and said, "Oh, Mrs. Savage, could I get one of these?" And I'm looking at her. She's 17 or 18. I said, I can't do that. And she said, "Why not?" I said, "I would have to ask your mom." She said, "No, you don't have to ask my mom anything.
Wow.
And, I'm old enough. Well, do you take payment plan?" And I said, "What the hell was that?"
Oh, what?
I know. And I said, "What the heck would you be doing with a vibrator?" And she looked at me and said, "Mrs. Savage, don't you know this is so much better than actually going in there and having sex with boys? Because number one, sexual disease," she says. And she says, "then for sure I won't get pregnant. And so more than likely I will enjoy it anyways, and I know for sure I'll be enjoying the vibrator." This is a conversation I was having with a 17-year-old. Again, I'm learning from these younger kids.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
They have so much to tell me, and I couldn't believe it, and it makes sense that these younger kids, they're so much smarter than our generation at that age.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you thinking of? Sorry, go ahead, Kate.
I was going to say, I'm still on the ex-husband side. Like, for me, I'm going to tell my daughter it's 35. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's just how men, that's just how men are.
Yeah.
That's not to rebuttal anything, but, that's like something I guess that, I get, and that's why it's always good. And the message to a lot of the single parents out there too is, the mothers out there, it's really good to make sure that you're playing a proper role because, some things when it comes to the daughters especially, listen, us men are going to be the way we are. And it's going to be hard to change us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And with good reason. With good reason. But, yeah, I just had to throw that in. Go ahead.
Well, thank you, Keith.
Yeah.
He's right, though. I've heard my ex-husband and my brothers do the same thing. For them, they would have sex or have kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I still think they think they're not having, my older ones are not having sex, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did the same. I mean, I have two daughters. One's 24 and one's 21. Yes, I know, I'm shocking you. But I came from, that place where I really wanted to talk to them as early as possible. And, in their teens, like early teens, 13. Yep, this is what it is. This is what's up. And they were like, "Mommy, okay, I get it." Because I wanted to just bombard them in information so that they wouldn't be like going to the library like I did to find out about anatomy and sexuality and read up about it because no one talked about it in my house.
Right.
So yeah, they're well informed. And I just hope that they make the right choices because they're in relationships. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you did an amazing job by doing that. We need to talk to our kids. We have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you don't want their friends to tell them because they're going to tell them wrong information. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget the big one. If he pulls out right away, you may not get pregnant. You won't get pregnant. Like, these are the things that these younger kids are telling each other.
Or the first time you don't get pregnant.
Or the first time you won't get pregnant. So these are the information that we want to take away from the kids. Because
Yeah.
we know it doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
So yeah.
All right. Well, Donna, I'm sure there's some people out there who have some burning questions to ask you, but maybe they would like to do it at their own convenience. So, how can they reach you about some of the resources, or just to find out something from you?
Okay. Well, I do. My website is savageDesires.ca, and again, I'm a columnist at ByBlacks.ca also. Under my name, Donna Savage, and the column is Sex and Relationship. I'm also on Twitter at Savage Desire 69, Instagram at Savage Desire 69. Is that all it is? And of course, Facebook under my name, Donna Savage. So that's all it is.
Okay.
Wow.
But
Excellent.
and yeah, like that, like we thank you for coming on. I know myself and all the men, definitely on our side, thank you for sharing that really. And well, yeah, because it also kind of got some of the ladies out there, on point too. I like what you said. Look, let your guy know, You know what I'm saying? Let him
Yeah.
know. Don't just diss him or be like, hey, and whatever.
Yep.
Let him know what's going on, cause he probably, if you just tell him, I'm sure he might switch around or do something different. So share that information.
Exactly.
They're not mind readers, so you've got to
they're not.
point, show whatever you need to do.
Yep. Yeah, if you don't want to talk about it, hold him in place and say, don't move if you don't want to talk about it.
And then draw a diagram later,
You know what I'm saying?
as long as you get the message. Exactly.
As long as they get it.
Yeah. And make sure they go to them take them classes too.
That's right. We offer every class in the book, from giving great head, lap dancing. We do pole dancing. We have conferences for women. We're trying to do men as well and couples. So we're doing amazing things out there.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Well, I applaud, what you're doing to, keeping sex healthy and safe. And, just the whole aspect of communication is really, really important. And I'm glad that you're able to be an advocate that way. So thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to your next party. I missed the last one.
Yes, you did. And I'm going to rub that in your face for a long time.
I know. But I'm going to make up for it.
I'm sure you will.
All right. Well, I would say that that good luck with that one too. I'm enjoy the party. I don't want to get in trouble, so I won't be there. But yeah, but yeah.
All right. Well, it was indeed a pleasure having you chat with us. And Keith, I think we've got some throwback music. Actually, Donna, you have a request for us.
Yes,
a throwback favorite?
Yes.
What?
Was it? I think it was Donna's Summer Last Dance.
Oh.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
That's what's up. Well,
How about we'll put that on, Keith?
we got it for you. It's as ready as the topic is.
Awesome.
Absolutely. All right. Look, yeah, and we, again, we thank you for coming through and talking to us, Donna. You're welcome back anytime you get ready.
All right. Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You take care, Donna. And you're listening to the Keith Harris and Nikki Clarke Show live on HotlineRadio.net. We're going to listen to Donna Summer, Last Dance. Keep it locked.
Throwback Thursdays. Janet Jackson was